Okay, so the dumbest shit happened today in school. I thought it was pretty funny, but apparently some other people didn't think it was funny, but it's still fucking funny. Like, yeah, whatever. Um, but I was wearing this hat. On the top there was a um hammer and sickle with the star on top. It was like the USSR flag. It was supposed to symbolize communism, and then under it, it said this is not your school. This is our school. And the our was all capitalized and like there's underlines on it. And I was walking into school with the hat on, and the security guard, he stops me and he says, what does that hat say? And I read it out loud, and I was like, that the symbol means like communism. It's supposed to be a joke. And he was like, you know what? That's inappropriate. And so he takes it away. And then the next day he gives it to like the assistant principal, and then the assistant principal, he calls me in, and some like three other guys, and one of the guys like wasn't even involved whatsoever. I don't even remember his name. I mean, I did know his name, but like we never talked at all. The only common thing about us is that we are in the same English class, and you know, I showed this hat to a lot of people. A lot of people thought it was funny. Um, so uh, but anyways, they brought me in. They were like, "So why did I? Why are you guys even here?" Right? He asks that, and I was like, "It's probably because of that hat." And like, um, and then he was like, he read it, and he was like, "What is this supposed to mean?" I was like, "It's supposed to be a communism joke, because people were saying like it's not your school, it's our school." Um, and he was like, "I don't like that because the the part where it said this is not your school," and he said it was because that made people feel like it made it feel like I owned the school or something. And this is like fucking ridiculous because like I can't fucking own a school. um I don't think a 16-year-old can really own a school like that, but whatever. But anyway, he's like, yeah, it seems like also because it said it's not your school, you're making people feel unwelcome because I don't know, some shit about like uh, because they don't, I don't fucking know actually. It's like some random shit. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, and I also don't like the part where it says, this is our school because it also implies that somebody owns the school." And then he linked the USSR symbol or the hammer and sickle, whatever, to the to that line. And he was like, "Are you trying to imply that the Communist Party owns the school?" And I was like, no. Um, like, really? I was sitting there. I was like, "This is a fucking joke. Like this is the stupidest joke ever. Like, why would you call me in for this shit?" And then the three people, they were like, "Yeah, he's not trying to imply that like the Soviet Russia or whatever USSR owns this, the Communist Party owns the school or anything." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not trying to imply that. Like, that's ridiculous. This is America, and uh, you know, they're pretty much, I don't know." But anyways, the three other people who were with me, they were dismissed. Like they were fine, whatever. And then the guy brings in a woman. She's like the other assistant principal. And she's like, she reads it and she's like, "I don't like it." Kind of like in that notion, like she was disappointed. And I was sitting there. I was like, okay, whatever. Like I can, I feel like I can say that this is my school anyways because it's not really harming anyone. If I say this is my school, like, it's, what is that trying, it's like, is that offensive or some shit? I don't know. um and they kept trying to ask me, uh do you know what people would think when they see this hat? And I was like, I don't know, kinda. And she's like, really, you don't know? And I was like, I kind of do. I guess some people might think it was negative, but according to um my experience, a lot of people thought it was funny, but it's to each their own. um and she was like, man, I don't want this message in my school at all. And then here's the thing, she just said, in my school. And I was like, this is really fucking ironic. I was sitting there and it's like, do you care at all? I was like, I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care. It's not my problem. Like, I can think whatever I want. I can, have whatever opinions I want. um I support the First Amendment rights of free speech, but maybe a school, they do have their rules on profanity or whatever, but that was not really profanity or hate speech, in my opinion. Like, it was not intended to be, but they kind of twisted it to be that way. So this is my story. What else was there? Like, she was just like, I'm gonna call your parents, and my parents thought it was funny. So it's like, I don't really know what they're gonna accomplish by doing that. And then I don't know, it just feels like this school just became like a special snowflake school or some shit. Like, they just don't like satire or whatever. So yeah, I'm like, I'm not gonna wear the hat anymore, but like, that was really fucking dumb. Yeah, this is my story. Like, whatever.